Welcome to The Hurt is the Same. My name is Shantell Johnson, and this show is dedicated to my son, Christopher Johnson, who was the 109 homicide here in Jackson, Mississippi, who also was a mental patient here in Jackson, Mississippi. Every show is dedicated to him. And I'm also here with my co-host, Shantell Street.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining in.
And we also want to let you all know this is our first debut, so bear with us. It'll get better as it goes on. The topics that we have for today are many things that's going on here around Jackson. And a lot of people are getting involved. The first topic we would like to talk about is the election. It's a new sheriff in town.
Sure is. Tyrese won it.
A lot of people did not come out and vote, and I was very disappointed in that. I rode around Jackson and I seen it wasn't a lot of poll workers. It wasn't a lot of people that came out as they did the first time. But as I said, we got a new sheriff in town. But let's see what he's going to do going forward. What is your opinion, Shantell?
Me personally, I really think that Tyrese will do an alright job. I'm not going to say a good job because there's too much dirty air out there that went on his back as he came in before he got the seat actually. But I think he'll do an alright job. We have to see with these 2 years.
Well, I know the first thing that we need, y'all, is a holding cell. We need a place to hold these people for crimes committed in our city. For many years, we had a holding cell downtown. We don't have that anymore. We're going to have to get back to that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is the mothers and fathers and everyone just getting involved in your community. You know, if you ain't had anything to happen in your family or anything to touch your heart in Jackson, it's coming. What is your opinion about that, Shantell?
Well, me personally, I think attendance was very poor. From my understanding, Tyrese got 14,000 votes. 14,416, let's be exact about that. Chrysler got 9,487. Where the rest of the votes from the people that came out the first runoff?
They didn't come back.
And why you think they didn't come back?
Well, actions speak louder than words. And I think the citizens of Jackson pretty much spoke what they want was change. We got a lot to talk about in a short time to do it in, you all. And as I said, this is our first show, so just bear with us. The second thing I want to talk about is a lot of people have been calling us about the 911 response. They short of workers. Detectives, they're short of workers. I have talked with so many different people that they do not have the resources here to help, to do different things that we need things to be done around here in the city.
Me personally, police, no police, all the police, they have always been slow. It doesn't matter. When they had the team filled up with police, they were slow. And if you just, my opinion is, they were busy doing something else that they wanted to do.
Well, you know, Chris homicide really woke up a lot of people in Jackson, Mississippi.
And it did.
Due to the fact that I have been fighting mental illness for 25 years here in the state for him and other mental ill people. So a lot of people that wasn't involved is getting involved. You know, of all color, creeds, sides, just all around. People are back caring. They are caring about their communities. They are caring about the environment that their kids are coming up in. Their grandkids are going to come up in. Another thing, we have a whole list of stuff here that I want to try to cram in real quick. Shantell, what you think about the curfew? That ain't never been enforced with the kids.
It was enforced with us.
Yes, it was enforced with us. I totally agree with that.
So community got to get involved. I mean, it touched my toes sometimes when people say, hold the parent accountable.
And I'm one of those people.
And
that
she
say,
step on my toes with it all of the time. But let it be said that all parents don't need to be held accountable. And I say that to say this. It's a lot of single mothers out there. It's a lot of children that have their mother and father in the house. But at the same time, guess what? They gonna do what they want to do. So what we need is a judge like Skinner.
Yeah.
We talking about building jail. Let's use some of these empty buildings around here for training school.
Yes.
That's what we had back then when we were bad. We ain't get to go home and with probation.
Well, I don't even hardly see YMCAs. Operation Shoestring have always been a magnificent milestone in the community. We went there when we was young, but it's just so many different things that we're going to talk about. But this first segment is strictly to introduce you all, to make you feel comfortable, to make us feel comfortable, to just pretty much address and care about what's going on in our community.
That's right.
As you all know, I'm a big talker, but I'm a kind of little nervous, so just bear with me. You nervous, Shantell?
I'm very nervous, but they know one thing. We love to talk, and we going to get the job done.
Okay, then. I got to get your opinion on one of the other hot topics that was going on. Last night, I got so many calls and so many things where they was telling me about this thing with the mental ill incident that happened on Facebook. Facebook Live, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I can tell you this. As a descendant of mental illness, and for someone who understands mental illness the way that I do, I couldn't watch it. I only could hear about it. What was your opinion on it, Shantell?
It really just struck a nerve, because why not take out the time to find out who you're dealing with first off when you respond to a call? Don't think that every call that they go on, they have to be hostile.
Well, I agree because it have been many times.
Hostile at all times. Because if they took out the time to see who it was and what really was going on, they would have known then that she was mentally ill and wasn't trying to cause nobody no harm.
Well, from my own experience with Chris, it has been times where I had to call the police on the police because they wasn't trained. They didn't know a mental ill breakdown from disorderly conduct or resisting arrest. So things have changed, but it's a lot more that got to be done. I'm pulling all resources. I'm talking to all different people, and a lot of the citizens in Jackson, they blaming the little people. And when I say the little people, I mean you're looking at the little people that's downtown. But I want you to know it go way bigger than that. And it starts with the hood. I can't stress that enough. The hood got to vote. I never thought I would see a time in my life where a group of people of any color, of any race, didn't go vote. What you think about that, Shantell?
I really think that it was a lot of foolishness and clownery going on that caused people not want to go vote. I mean, who want to vote for a clown? They both were clowning each other. Only difference between them and these people out here on the streets that we here to talk about is they weren't using guns. So a lot of them probably were looking at like, we're going to put two clowns in office. No, I don't want no part of that. And Grandma, please forgive me and everybody else, but me, myself, personally, I didn't go vote yesterday.
Well, I tell you this right here. I talked with a lot of people who did not go vote. And I want to set this off clear. I was going to hold it to the next session, but it's on my spirit. I have to clear this up with my people because somewhere along the way, y'all really got it twisted. Y'all got people around here calling you Negroes. Well, I want to tell you the difference between a Negro and a nigger in the state of Mississippi. Because, see, my grandmother had 10 children here. I'm the 4th generation here, and we all here. I tell people, Jackson don't have an east side. Our east side is Pearl. we have 3 sides with a whole bunch of little dots in the middle of it. And me, myself, it ain't a Baptist church in the state or in the city of Jackson that I haven't attended, or that I don't know where the bathroom at as a little girl growing up there. But you know, Negroes are trying to work, take care of their families, do the right thing, bring their children up by the book, just work a 401k, IRA, just the American dream. A nigger come to kill, destroy, and make your life a living hell.
That's right.
So I think once you understand the difference in the two, you will pretty much act accordingly, because names are very important. But, you know, people been around here calling you Negroes and you acting like a nigger. So, to me, you a nigger. You not a Negro. I am a Negro. Shantell
I am a Negro.
Is a Negro. You know, the people that you see that get up and go to work and lock their doors and set their alarms and feed their children and do the same thing every day. See, Negroes pretty much do the same routine every day. A nigger do not do the same routine every day. That's one way you can identify the two. What you think, Shantell?
I think you perfectly said it all. Because me, myself, personally, that's all I've been hearing. You Negroes, you Negro. People that you were talking about, they not Negroes. They are what you said. They are niggers.
They are niggers. And I tell you something else. You know, you have to do what's right. You know, my granny used to have a saying, and that's one thing about this platform. You know, everybody have their last saying or their last words or their slogan for their platform. You know, mine is going to be, or ours are going to be, hold the mirror up. Face the man in the mirror. If you have any problems with anything, start with the man in the mirror. You know, the things that you put out in life, it's a boomerang. It's coming back. So, you know, don't put lies on your record with Jesus for no human beings. You know, my granny used to say it's 2 dates on the tombstone, the date you died and the date that you was born. Neither one of them mean a thing. It's the dash in the middle that count. So, see, one thing about me, Shantell Johnson, I don't put lies on my record with Jesus for no human being. So, you know, one thing about this show as it go on and as it grow, it's going to get better. You know, we're going to do what we can, but I can tell you one thing that you would not get is a lie.
Everything going to be facts.
And we are here to bring the community up, lift them up, but you also know what come with that is chastising. You know,
it would be a lot of that.
It's gonna come with that. It's gonna come. I'm gonna say some things that's gonna step on your toes. I'm gonna say some things that you don't like. You know, later on in the segment, as y'all know, you know, you've been watching me on Facebook, you've been watching me on this, you've been watching me on that. But see, one thing that can't nobody say about Shantell Johnson in Jackson, Mississippi is I lost my mind when it came to my front door. See, I cared when it was at my neighbor's door. I cared when it was my friend girl's children getting shot down. I tried to get the community involved. And I told y'all on my live 3 years ago, if you didn't get involved, it was going to be a homicide at almost every 3 doors in Jackson. But nobody wanted to listen. And I also told you, if it ever came to my front door, only God knew what I was going to do. So now that he done put me on y'all's side, I told you, he's such a somebody who ain't going to quit on you. He's such a somebody that put the D in determination, the C in consistency, you know. But we can't do this alone. 100 and some murders last year, 100 and some murders this year, and we can't get not one person to participate. What you think about that?
I don't understand it at all, but I think that this right here gonna be a good way to come back and start our next segment talking about this. Something have to be done about what's going on out here. We have to do something as a community.
True.
We got to, or nothing gonna change. Everything gonna be the same, but we'll be right back. Tonight's show is brought to you by earthblendcoffee.co. Black owned and roasted right here in Jackson, Mississippi. It's just great coffee. The link is in the Facebook description box. Click on the link and support our sponsor, earthblendcoffee.co. And we'll be right back after this message.
Okay, Shantell, right before we went to break, you were saying?
That we need to get the community involved. We need to get out door to door, canvas like the police should do, and get these people involved. Because, like you said earlier, we can't do it alone. So now that we got Tyrese, who said he gonna make all these changes to the street and what all he was gonna do out here on these streets, we need to begin with him and see what can be done about pulling this community together to get our streets back.
Well, you said something before all of this. You said if the old people get involved, the rest of them will step up. And since we've been on this journey and on this assignment, we have been seeing them getting up and coming out. So hopefully now we can get everybody else involved now that Granny's involved. But if not, they're going to have to be held accountable. You know, I'm known as the funeral queen. Everybody know if I know you and something happened, I'm going to come pay my respects to you. If I can't make the funeral, I'm going to go sign the books. That's the way that I was raised. And now that I'm put on this side, I have been reaching out to other mothers, other aunts, other uncles, and everybody. And I never seen so much fear. So much fear. You know, such as myself. My son died September the 23rd. I go downtown every day. I make it my priority to go down there every day. Sometimes I just don't want to see nobody. Sometimes I just want to write my name on the book because my name is just as important as theirs. So it's the consistency. And it's the community is getting involved. And if you raising a child here in this city, if you haven't been affected by nothing, you should care about the environment that your children and your grandchildren and everybody else is about to come up in. And moving right on along, what do you think about getting the guns off the streets? How everybody talk about the gun shows. Me, myself, I don't think the gun shows is a problem. Because I'm going to say this, and it's going to step on a lot of people's toes. Because, as you know, we have different opinions. Mm-hmm. And I see things totally different ways. You ask me, I say give everybody a damn gun. They got them anyway. You can't separate who's supposed to have them and who don't supposed to have them. You know, I think the Jew men should be held accountable for having a sign on their door saying no firearms allowed, and they still allow them in there. But I say get everybody a gun. Everything is based on your income. You can't go live in a $700,000 house unless you got the credit for it and the money for it. Your lifestyle is based on your financial income. Well, I think bullets should be the same. That's what I think. But this is just my personal opinion. I think a box of bullets should start off at $699. And if you want some assault rifle bullets, I feel like you ought to start them off at $3,000. And see, you know, the old folks used to say if you can't beat them, you join them. See, that'll stop out a lot of senseless killing, because if you pay that type of money for some bullets, let me tell you something, you won't be shooting for the 4th of July, you won't be shooting for New Year's, and you gonna think twice or maybe 5 times before you do anything by pulling that trigger, because that ammo costs so much.
Well, me personally, we can't fault the gun shows, we can't fault nobody that sell the guns, because whether we go buy them, whatever, half of the guns, my point I'm trying to make is, half the guns that's out here that's taking these lives, they stolen. They don't belong to nobody. So
and it
doesn't matter. Show. Just like you have a gun. You have a right to carry. I have a right to carry. You keep your gun in your truck sometime. I keep my gun in my truck sometime. Who to say somebody ain't gonna come along and break the one and take our gun? We can't take it in this place because it say no guns allowed. Right. Okay, so here it is, a clean gun. Now that's going to be reported stolen in the hands of somebody that broke into the car. So basically, we can't. It all started back to what you said earlier. The parents, majority of the killings that's going on right now, and the people that's dying, majority of them not even over 25.
Well, you know,
some of them not over 21. Well, so basically, we got guns in
kids,
young males, young females' hands that's under the law to carry.
Right.
So that go back to what I said. about holding parents accountable that not seeing to their kids.
Well, you know what Granny used to call them. You know what she used to call them. That's them Jezebel descendants.
Okay, but
you know,
them
that's them Jezebel
listen,
descendants.
them Jezebel descendants gonna have to get themselves together.
Yes,
and that
indeed.
go back to what we were talking about earlier about the curfew. Okay, you know for yourself. They used to sneak out the house all the time.
Yes.
Her and Khalid stayed running off. Me and Jamila ain't know they were gone.
Right.
So the first thing we did was 911.
Right. Right.
When we found them, one no come, yeah, we gonna feed you, but after you finish eating, you finna go to the detention center.
That's
so
right.
if you choose to do this right here again and something go on, these people know one thing.
I'm gonna
This
do what
woman
you-
has sent this girl down here to the detention center
Right.
because she not doing what it is she's supposed to do at home. So if
Right.
anything happen, guess what? I'm not held accountable. I'm one of them parents that's not gonna be held accountable because I'm doing what it is I supposed to do. Then it go back to the community getting involved.
Right.
You know, I'm nosy. I stay on the police scandal. That's my thing all day long to the time I go to sleep.
Yes,
police
that is her
scandal.
hobby, y'all.
I chase the police. I chase the ambulance. I chase the mobile crime lab. That's what I do.
She's a real concerned citizen.
Really. And if we put more time and energy, back to what you said, we gotta find something constructive for them to do. They don't have nothing to do.
Sure don't.
So if I'm bored and I ain't got nothing to do, first thing I'm finna do is find something I'm be mischievous, as the old folks say.
Right.
So there's nothing for them to do. When we came up, we had NYSP. We had church summer programs. We had
Rabbits on the reservoir.
rappers on.
We had
so much
stuff.
The wood
The
booty
skate
truck.
ring.
We used to fight in line to get to the sandwich
The
truck.
skate
We
ring.
had all that for us. So now all our time was consumed. Their time is not being consumed. Only thing they doing is seeing what's going around on in the neighborhood. As you say, the Jezebel not paying no attention to what a child doing because she got other things to
And
do
the
for the
cum
day.
bucket's needed.
And there you go.
Sure ain't.
He done joined this group over here that's shooting over here in the neighborhood. Then when it come to your door, you don't know what's going on
No.
because
Right.
you not at home.
No. Right.
So let's hold parents accountable that's not doing what it is they supposed to do. We're not gonna hold all parents accountable, just the ones not doing what they supposed to do. If I bring your child to your house and say, listen, Miss Johnson, I'm bringing him home because it's after 10 o'clock.
I just
Now,
did that last week.
It's after 10 o'clock, I'm bringing him home to you, okay?
Other than saying it ain't my business. It
Okay.
ain't my child.
I'm
That
bringing
ain't
them
got nothing
home
do
to
with
you.
me.
So guess what? Next time I see him, guess what my next step gonna be? 911. Listen, I took Miss Johnson's child home last week and told her he'd be out. So evidently the Jezebel out doing something that she ain't supposed to be
Right,
doing.
right.
You need to come
Right.
lock him up.
Right.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where I say lock him up.
Well, see, that's the thing about the great old state of Mississippi. See, I love the great old state of Mississippi because in Mississippi, a good standing citizen can still do a citizen's arrest.
Yeah, but then see you gotta worry about this right here. Little boy, go in their yard. You know you ain't supposed to be out their yard. Get in their yard. Mama ain't nowhere in sight. But she see me chastising her child at this
Right.
time. Here she come to the door. Don't talk to my child like that. And here go all the name calling. Here go hold, cause I'm saving your child out the
These
street.
generation curses. You know, I sit back and I watch. You know, we didn't get here overnight. And I constantly say, one thing that can't now citizen of Jackson, Mississippi say, and blame. You can't blame the white man. You can't blame the white man for now problem that's going on in Jackson because you got all your people that's on leadership. And we didn't get here overnight. You know, I think back to the time with Mac Millen. And I remember when Mac said something and he said, I'm going to go on and sit down. Because, see, I can help them with a lot of things, but I can't help them. They want a black man. You know. So, see, I remember that. I remember that it wasn't no rise in the jailhouse. I remember that he had respect for those inmates, and those inmates had respect for him, and it was showed. I remember that he knew who did this and who did that. You know, I remember the rookies taking my daddy, who was a mental patient, downtown, and Matt calling my granny, telling telling my grandmama, come get Doc out of our cell. We need this cell for a real criminal. Doc called us every weekend 911 and cuss us out. We know where he at. I don't need to lock him up in this cell. So it goes back to, in order to patrol the area, you got to know the area. Any job that you do, you got to know it. And you got to have passion for it. But it's so much funding that had been cut. Even with me fighting mental illness, I really realized it only was good for the brochures. It only looked good on commercials. But when it came down to really helping the people who really needed help, it wasn't in it. It really was nowhere for them to go. It's just people got to care. They really got to care. And I hope sooner than later, because it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And I hate to say that, but I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. This is my home, always been. It's your home. It was your grandparents' home. It was my grandparents' home. All the people who born and raised here as true Jacksonians that had family values and had family morals, we almost like pulling our hair out around here. You go in the store, you see the sign on the door, no firearms, but everybody in the store got a firearm. These Iranians and Jew men and all these people moving out of neighborhoods, y'all that became buddies with them, but yet our children are being slaughtered in the streets.
Yeah, but like you said, it's going to take patrolling of the neighborhood and knowing the neighborhood, but not just patrolling and knowing the neighborhood. It's going to take the time, like when we had Officer Friendly. It's going to take you to get out the car. How you doing? I'm Officer Street. I'll be patrolling your area over here. If you have any problems, this is my personal number.
Right.
Get with me.
Right.
They're not reaching out. They ride.
Yes.
They ride through with their blue lights on just to say, I rode through. They're not actually getting out, interacting with. I'm not gonna say all of them, because I know 3 for sure that patrol the neighborhood over there off of Bailey, and they actually get out. They know everybody over there by name, not by face. They don't say, hey, boy, come here. None of that. Hey, come here, John. Let me holler at you. Now, I seen you over there the other day. Now, you know I ain't going to have that over here in my neighborhood. It's respect.
Yeah.
The officers over there where we grew up at, they have respect in the neighborhood because they actually get out the car. They actually care. They don't get out the car talking crazy to you. What's going on over here? I heard such and such been going on. Y'all good? I mean, majority of everybody over there on the outside got personal police numbers up in there. They don't see nothing right, they call. So, on that area over there, they started trying to get it back together now. It's sort of back quiet because the minute it had got wild. But now that they got them personal numbers with them officers who get out and get involved like they supposed to serve and protect, not just protect, to serve as well, they get out.
Well, I'm kind of straddling the fence on that, as you know. On both sides. I got a son wearing that uniform now. So it's kind of different for me.
Congratulations, nephew.
I'm rooting for him, but I'm also, as a mother, I'm fearful. I'm fearful of what this city has become for a good person like him who was raised right, who know how to treat people. And that's his passion. His goal is to go on up, to be an FBI agent. But he had to start down here. So, all the other mothers who have daughters and sons that's police officers and military people and all of that, I'm standing right there with them now. And I'm also standing on the homicide side as a mother who lost a child.
Well, we gonna bring mines back. Tonight's show is brought to you by earthblendcoffee.co, black owned and roasted right here in Jackson, Mississippi. It's just great coffee. The link is in the Facebook description box. Click on the link and support our sponsor, earthblendcoffee.co. And we'll be right back after this commercial.
Welcome back. All right, Miss Shantell. I wanted to ask you, is there anything else you want to say just to let the people know, exactly what is our goal going forward for this show? What is your opinion on it? And then I'll give mine.
Our goal for this show is basically to help those that are scared to speak. We are your voices now. I know a lot of you be scared to get involved, like me and Shantell. We at Jackson Police Department every day. Whether it's morning, whether it's evening. We ain't skipped a day since September the 23rd. We hadn't skipped a day. I know it's a lot of you out here who don't trust the police, and really, I don't blame you about that, but we're going to try to make that better to build your trust back with them so that if it's anything that going on in your community, anything that you feel like is being corrupt around you, anything at all that you scared to speak on, let us know. And we got you. Our show basically is not just about homicides. We concerned about all losses. Because like Shantell say, the hurt is the same. So with that being said, anything that you need for as resources, we got everything. Anything that you feel like that you can figure out or you don't know which way to go, call us. We got you.
But I want to let you know now, they not going to look like you now. A few of them going to look like you. So if you coming with them with that, and I'm going to ask you this. The ones that look like you, what they done got you at? How far you done got? Well, see, I told y'all, I'm like my grandmother. If you see your same race from Sunday to Sunday, you got a problem. You really got a problem, man. You need a life. See, that I don't even want to see my people. And everybody know before this happened, everybody know, as they know, I'm the life of the party. I say all kind of stuff, all which kind of way. Ain't no telling what way it's line to come out. But I love Negroes. I only fool with niggas on the weekend. And that's only when I'm going to a birthday party or something like that. But other than that, I don't want to be around you. I want to be around positive vibes, good, love, caring, honor thy neighbors, treat people the way you want to be treated. All the values that we was taught. That's why when we decided to come up with a name, we came up with The Hurt Is the Same. Because just me being a mother who have lost a child, I also lost a sister to domestic violence. So, I sat there and I bothered with those things and all this stuff happening during Domestic Violence Month. And I said, you know what? The hurt is the same. How about if all of them come up under one big umbrella? People who lost somebody from opiates, somebody who lost somebody from suicide, somebody who lost somebody from human trafficking, sex crimes, guns. It don't make a difference. It's too many titles that's being separated when it's all affecting us the same. The hurt is the same. The loss is the same. And as black people, we have a problem with seeking counseling. When we have tragedies or something that happened in our lives. Big Mama ain't here no more to throw holy oil on you. Big Mama ain't here no more to put them prayer warriors on you. She just ain't here. So now you got to deal with the grandmamas that's 50 years old, and Lord knows they the new 20. Hey, they the new 20, baby. I'm still trying to see how they keep this hair from coming down here without just
waxing.
I'm just saying, I don't like pain though. So I don't have a tattoo. I don't have none of these holes in my ear. My granny put in there. See, I don't cause pain on myself in no kind of way. But now, BS is glorified. Negativity is glorified. Tearing your neighbor down is glorified. And I just sit back and I watch and I say, you know what? Somebody got to tell these damn people.
They don't understand
Somebody literally got to tell them.
Buckets.
And, it's just, people say, Shantell, we ain't heard the word Jezebels in forever. I said, hell, it ain't never left my vocabulary. And another thing, I sit and I think, and everybody know I'm a visionary. My mind is expanded. I see my people, and I can't help but to go back in my mind. It's 3 things that my grandmother made us learn. First of all, she made us go to any church that was having vacation Bible class. It don't make a difference whether you were G.O. Witness, Pentecost, it ain't make no difference. She said, get over there. So she made sure we knew the Bible. She made sure we knew the laws of the land. And she made sure that we knew the Willie Lynch letter. And I sit back and I watch my community and I see what's going on. They
living it.
They living it.
They don't know nothing about it.
They
living
it.
You know, maybe you should explain that to them. Those who don't know.
Well, you know, down south, everybody talk about Jim Crow. Jim Crow, Jim Crow, Jim Crow. But unless you lived here during that era, and I have been fortunate enough to work in Bearhaven, Fondren, Eastover, Northeast Jackson for the last 28 years. Before I took over, my granny was over there. So, you know, those are our friends. And I see how people try to stereotype Mississippi versus Alabama, Kentucky, Virginia, and all of that. Well, guess what? The Negroes in Mississippi was already getting along with the white folks. See, we already was friends. You see old Pete that used to own Star Grocery down there on Baylor Avenue. You see the man that used to own City Furniture across from the old Star. See, all of them, they been down with us. See, the man who owned Ross Furniture come right there off of Terry Road. See, all of them people, I've been knowing them. They been my friends. So when they say that about Mississippi, it's the people who ain't here. They don't know how we already was getting along. But it's embedded in our minds that's so messed up until you have been persuaded the Willie Lynch way and don't even know it. You know? They literally whooping themselves. They their own switches. They self-destruction. And, you know, here we is saying, come to the light, Caroline. Come to the light, Caroline. It's light over here. Come over here. Come out the darkness. You know? But nobody's saying it's light over here.
Nobody gonna say it. Because everybody, that's the biggest problem with the city of Jackson. Majority of people are for themselves. They don't know how to help. Perfect example. We grew up with a community as a mother.
Yes.
We didn't have just no one mother or no granny. Yes. The community was our mother when our mother wasn't around. I remember the Sykes family turned me up, the Harris family turned me up, and Miss Oldemay used to sit in the wonder. You couldn't do nothing without her saying, Shantell, I'ma tell Mr. Straight. Anything.
Oh, honey.
And you better not tell on yourself because you're going to get 2 whoopings.
Look, I'm about to spill some beans. But hey, this was a long time ago. Anybody that lived on Baker Street seen me and Sam get beat from the top from the top of the street all the way down. The whole street whooped us. Literally.
There was love.
Literally.
There was, as they say,
the Master Bees whooped us.
That was our jungle.
I'm talking about, and everybody that's watching this that know we gotta whoop. Everybody whooped us.
Everybody.
You know, but we survived. We survived and we cared. You know, and I look at the families today, and with my family having a store, you know, in the community, you know, I look back at these people now, and I'm like, man, y'all had tabs at our store. You gonna act like that?
You can't leave out the stove owing 3 cents.
You can't. You know,
I think pick the pennies up.
You know, that's just like with Walmart. When Jenny Jungle went out of business, Star Grocery went out of business, I remember my dad saying these words. My dad said, y'all sitting around here happy that Walmart coming, but you ain't gonna be able to leave out of there owing a penny. My dad said, you see the way that y'all go up there and go around there to Star and go over there to main drug store when you ain't got the money for your prescription, you can get half of your medicine and pay when you get it. My daddy said that ain't finna happen. They finna put all the mom and pop stores out of business, and I might be dead and in my grave, but y'all gonna wish that Walmart did not come here. And now when I look at the one on 18 and I look at all the mom and pop stores, and I thank God that the lady brought Piggly Wiggly back over there, you know, in that area, because I worked that area. And those people have to drive way to Kroger's and way here and way there. You know, it's just that in that Piggly Wiggly, they know you by name. Don't nobody know you by your name at Walmart. You know, if you spend $4,500 in Walmart and you owe a penny, you got to put some back. That's not where I spend my money at. I like to spend my money in the community. I like to eat out. Now, I might go outside the box and go to Logan's, but that's only because that's an addiction.
That's
Everybody
the
know that's
the
them rolls. That's them rolls. But other than that, I'm going to spend my money at Howlin' Miles, Martin's, all the local restaurants, because they are family. George Street Grocery, all of those people downtown, those are family. And I miss that close-knit thing that we had as a community. Now, the men won't even fight. You have a misunderstanding? A man won't even fight. I still give up to girls because at least girls will put their hands up and pull her
not
and do all
lately,
that.
Not lately.
But not lately. But I'm just saying they will fight
They would, yeah.
before the men will.
Yeah.
Now, when you ever thought you seen the day of that? Well, everybody won't shoot. Like, I thought in a clique it was a certain amount of people, everybody had a role. I didn't know that now everybody in the clique is a shooter. But
yeah, because me and your clique, our little clique we got. One ride, we all ride. That's how our clique roll. From me, you, Sean, Rose, Erica, T. That's how we roll.
and we called each other out. When you were wrong, you were wrong.
Exactly.
And we wasn't gonna know hold you with no wrong.
It wasn't
But
no
see-
fight.
but
The
see that-
world wasn't gonna know. Facebook is the biggest problem today.
Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up.
Facebook. Everything that go on Facebook. You stepped on my shoe. I'm finna go to Facebook. Oh, Shantell done stepped on my shoe. Blah,
It's
blah,
coward.
blah, blah, blah.
It's coward though. But see, we come from an era of 10 toes down. That used to be
They
our
don't
saying.
understand it.
10 toes down. But see, now social media give them. Social media give a coward courage. That's what it do. It starts beef, but it give a coward courage. And I tell you what else it'll do too. It'll hold that mirror up in front of you too.
Not only that, it's social media, Facebook, all of it to me is, as the old folks say, throw your rock, catch your hand.
Exactly.
Throw
Exactly.
your rock. Oh, that wasn't me on my page. My page was hacked. But then you got it back today.
But I love the ones that's using it for their businesses, the advertise,
It's positiveness
to make
in
their
it
money.
is.
But when you're going to talking about poverty areas, low income families, when you go to putting it like that in there, it ain't nothing but a dynamite. It literally ain't nothing but a dynamite. You know, I see everybody got the essentials internet, the cheap internet. Now the government is giving you the free iPads. Now they're giving you the free iPhones. You know, but the way the crime is in Jackson, I said on my live, I think every 1 to 2 households in Jackson should have a Ring doorbell.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think everybody should invest in a Ring doorbell. Or we need to try to come up with some kind of way to get the state or somebody, the city, because see, these homicides are so out of control until it's almost like everybody's saying it can't happen to me. It can't happen to me. It won't come to my front door. But hey, the way it's going now, I just don't know what to say. That's just like with the vote. You know, the hood on this side, the bridge on this side, you got Democrats right over there in Fondren, Belhaven, Eastover, Northeast Jackson. They vote Democrats too. But the hood won't even get out and vote Democrats with them to help make a difference for them. It's just...
Well, we gonna get it all together.
Sure is.
With this platform right here. That's
Sure.
what our platform for, to get our community back together. Tonight's show is brought to you by earthblendcoffee.co, black owned and roasted right here in Jackson, Mississippi. It's just great coffee. The link is in the Facebook description box. Click on the link and support our sponsors, earthblendcoffee.co. And we'll be right back after these messages.
COVID's pioneering coronavirus protocol firm, S1-E COVID Solutions, is paving the way forward for a safer city government, delivering cutting-edge biosecurity and biosafety protocols which have been developed internationally by top virologists and scientists, using an all-natural cleaning solution that kills COVID-19 on contact like no other product on the international market. Let S1-E COVID Solutions provide innovative, rapid facilities testing and world-class, state-of-the-art bio-risk safety protocols for all of your coronavirus needs.
Welcome back, y'all, to The Hurt is the Same. All right, Shantell, do you want to pick up where you left off at? We moving forward because this is the last segment. And as y'all know, it get greater later.
Our last segment is going to be called Last. A lot of y'all remember Frank Milton had the bottom line. Well, ours going to be Last. And Last stand for Let's All Stand Together. So right now we're going to do a recap of our topics tonight, and anyone have any comments or questions for us, feel free to call at 1-800-492-5186.
Yeah, y'all call on in. And in this last segment, you know I got to get some things off my chest, y'all. You know the people in my head that woke up just a tad, probably one or two of them. So I want to go ahead and let you know this. Shantell, what you want to do for is the recap before I close it out. For the recap of everything. Like I said, holding parents accountable. Getting involved. Please get involved. Y'all know we need a new jail. We need somewhere to hold these people. So the criminals can stop telling our police officers, you ain't got nowhere to take me. You ain't got nowhere to take me.
Where you going? You gonna R&R me?
You gonna R&R me? You know, that's part of the problem. Because I want to see Jackson like Madison, Rankin, and Clinton, and Byron. See, they're right there in Hines County too, and they stuff go a whole lot of different from mine. But
you know what I like about Clinton and Rankin County and the rest of the surrounding little cities around here?
What?
Clinton do not waste their time with misdemeanor. You got a misdemeanor, you ain't got their money. Guess what? Stay. Got something for you. We got some community service for you. You don't want this community service, guess what? We're going to make a little bid for you. But guess what? When you make this bid for you, you're still going to Raymond and work, so you might as well head to the community service.
Well, you know, one thing I like about Clinton is old school. If you move to Clinton, the first thing they arguing and they coming at you, they want to know what church you're going to. That's been part of my area with my house cleaning business for the last 20-some years, too. That is part of my community. I love Clinton. And Clinton and Jackson and Madison and Rankin, we can be just like them. We are the capital, you know. And I tell people all the time, what the judges do in Madison County and what they do in Rankin County, they are all under the same statutes of the law in the state of Mississippi.
Exactly.
They can do the same thing here in Jackson. So, you know, Frank said a thing a while back is, if you do a murder in Hines County, you will face the death penalty, or you will get life without the possibility of parole. See, that's what we got to get to. We got to get back to, you do the crime, you do the time. And versus you got somebody with some weed or some drugs, you know, and you giving them 30 to 40 years for it. But somebody who done took a life, you done let them plea down from capital murder to manslaughter. You know, see, those are the type of things where I bring my expertise in it. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not none of that. But I can tell you this. I'm just like that man on Talkn. I hold a set of special skills that I have required over the years that makes me qualified to help.
Exactly. So, with all that being said, call in 800-492-5186. Like I said, I see now our voice still real not being heard because nobody called in. Nobody cared.
Well, that's fine.
What? But
next week I'm going to be door-to-door like G.O. Witness. I'm going to get them orange things. Yeah, see. I'm going to be door-to-door like G.O. Witness, because, see, it's one thing to say something, That's another thing when you got somebody 10 toes down in front of you and you looking them eye to eye and you feeling their spirit and you feeling it. See, that's the thing. That's why I don't like text messages. I don't like none of that because you can't feel the emotion. If I call you on the phone, you can tell whether or not I'm upset, whether or not something bothers me. That's something that text messages cannot do. And the lack of communication among families is the problem. You know, I remember when you ate dinner, when you ate supper, everybody sat at the table.
We don't do that no more. Everybody, I'm going to my room, watch my TV. King going to his room, watch his TV.
Well, it's still no eat.
Going in there with
but it's still no
we
eat.
just watching his
but
TV.
Nowhere but in my house. My rules, so they think I'm just old school and crazy. But okay,
that's what they say. That's for the old.
Yeah,
that's for the old. But see, we need to install that back.
Well, let me tell y'all something else. The old people say that's for to step on your toes. You know, my grandmama had a saying, and I love saying it because she just installed so much in us. So, kids, cover your ears on this one.
Hold up, I think we got a call.
We got a call? Oh, well, hold up then. Wait a minute.
Hello, welcome. Who are we talking to?
Wait.
Yes, this is Gloria Bowles. I just want to call in and congratulate you all on the show.
Thank you, Miss Gloria.
And I want to let you all know I'm doing good. I want y'all to just hang in there. It's going to take time. This is what this city has been suffering with for years and years, and this is why we're in the situation that we're in.
Yes, ma'am.
So I can say there's a start, and we just got to try, because we're not going forward. We're not going forward at all, and we need to move this city. We just had a homicide tonight. It's just like you said, it just don't stop at your door. You can just get in line and wait on it because it's coming if we don't step up and do something about it.
That's right.
But I just want to congratulate you all on the show. And, if y'all need anything, let me know because I've been a fight out there just like you all.
Yes,
we know from being young girls.
You paid the way, baby. You paid the way. You paid the way.
I've been there. I've done that. Look, they did everything they could to me, but guess what? I still stand.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what we're going to do.
We standing together.
We're going to have to get together. And just like you say, Shantell, if it take us to knock on these doors, but they coming because guess what? They didn't just stop at your door, Shantell. They didn't just stop at my door and all the rest of them. They still knocking.
Sure,
yes, ma'am.
I just want to say congratulations again. And y'all hang in there and stay strong. Don't let the devil in.
Oh, we not, Miss Gloria. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for calling.
Uh-huh.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Right,
that's she been in this fight.
She been in this.
Been in this fight from when we were a little girl club at the kitty cat.
And when I tell you, I went to her when I was fighting mental illness. Her spirit good, come from a good stock. She is one of the women in Mississippi that knows, that's in Jackson, that's care. She was a visionary that foreseen this coming when I was fighting mental illness. When I was fighting mental illness and we were fighting to get the Scott sisters out, when she was fighting to get the Scott sisters out, she visualized this. She literally visualized this.
I remember the posters all over the restaurant.
Way before we started living
all over the wall.
We started living it. So people like her, I thank God for her. I thank God for her teachings. I thank God for her guidance. I thank God for her caring. Because it's people like that we need. But before we end, I gotta tell y'all the real. Because somewhere down the line, this Facebook stuff is really getting out of hand. It's really getting out of hand.
Hold on, we got another call,
we got
Shantell.
another call. Wait a minute. Okay.
Hello, welcome to the Herd is the Same. Who am I speaking with?
I'm fine.
Hello,
hey, how you doing, Pam?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
You have a question or a comment you'd like to make?
Yes.
What is
okay, we listening.
I want to know why Destiny Street talking about me on social media and on his live.
Well,
Oh, we
the
don't
best
even know
thing
who she is.
we don't even know who she is, but the best thing for you to do about that is ignore it.
And we on the topic. What you got to say about the topic and the things that's going on around Jackson?
Well, I want to say, first of all, it's sad. It's just sad how all these young people do beefing over nonsense.
It is.
I agree.
And I'm sorry, I'm cooking my Thanksgiving, so I'm kind of. But I wanted to call in to say that I agree with everything you all said. And my main topic is what are people really going to do to help the mental people, the mental illness people?
Now that's a good question.
Sure is a magnificent question because I've been at that fight.
Because I'm one of them mental illness people.
Okay.
And I don't think it's enough help out here for people like us.
And it's not.
They take us serious.
And it's not. And hospitalization, acute hospitalization and incarceration is no place for a mentally ill person. It is just, it just breaks my heart, when you go down Gallatin Street and you go, and as a mother, that's been my whole thing was to keep Chris from that type of lifestyle, with his mental illness before he ended up passing away. Because majority of those people, they ain't always been there. I have met stockbrokers, I have met physicians, professors, brokers, professional people. When the housing crisis dropped and people that had mental ill problems, once they started that opium crisis, they weren't able to get their money.
I think we're going to, thank you for calling in, Miss Destiny. We're going to move on to the next call. Hello. Thank you for calling the Herd is the Same.
Hello.
Who am I speaking with?
This is Adrian. How y'all doing tonight?
We're
Yes,
doing
hey,
fine.
how you doing?
We're doing fine. I just want to say good job, ladies. I am so proud of you all. You all deserve this. I know what you all have been through. I know what you all going through.
Well, I thank you. And
But
I got an opinion for you, Miss Adrian, before we get out of here and off the air. How did you feel about the election yesterday?
to be real honest about it, yesterday showed us what a disservice it is for the whole city. Not just
I agree.
I'm just going to be honest like that. We want change in this city. We're going to have to stop standing on BS and stand up for what's right.
Amen.
Okay, Miss Adrian, we thank you for calling in. Don't mean to cut you off, but we got to wrap it up. We got 20 seconds to go. Thank you for calling.
All right. Y'all have a good night. All right. Bye-bye.
Tonight's show is brought to you by earthblendcoffee.co. Black-owned roaster right here in Jackson, Mississippi. It's just great coffee. The link is in the Facebook description box. Click on the link, support our sponsor, earthblendcoffee.co, and we thank you all for joining us tonight. See you Wednesday.